Welcome to Car Hacks Express, your go-to source for quick and effective car maintenance solutions. If you've ever started your engine and heard a high-pitched squeal, a repetitive chirp, or an unsettling whine, you're not alone. Belt noise is one of the most common annoyances drivers face, and while it might seem like a minor issue, ignoring it can lead to much bigger and more expensive problems down the road. Today, I'll walk you through how to diagnose and fix most belt noise issues in just 10 minutes, using basic tools you likely already have at home. By following these steps, you could save yourself anywhere from $100 to $200 in mechanic fees and keep your car running smoothly. Let's start by understanding the types of belts you might find under your hood. In most modern vehicles, the Serpentine belt is king. This single long belt winds its way through multiple pulleys, powering essential components like the alternator, power steering pump, air conditioning compressor, and sometimes even the water pump. If you drive an older vehicle, you might encounter V-belts, which are shorter and typically dedicated to individual components. There's also the timing belt, a critical part of your engine's internal operation, but it's usually protected behind covers and is rarely the source of external belt noise. The sounds themselves can tell you a lot. A squealing noise, especially when you start the car or turn on accessories, usually points to a slipping or loose belt. Chirping often means there's misalignment or a bearing issue, making the belt skip or catch as it moves. Some noises are constant, while others only appear intermittently, perhaps during cold morning starts or on rainy days when moisture affects the belt's grip. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward a quick and accurate fix. Before you do anything, safety comes first. Make sure the engine is off and has had time to cool down. Remove any jewelry and secure loose clothing or long hair to prevent accidental snags. Gather a few basic items: a flashlight for inspecting hard-to-see areas, a water spray bottle for diagnostic testing, a clean cloth rag for cleaning, and optionally, a belt dressing spray and a belt tension gauge. With these in hand, pop the hood and locate the belt or belts in your engine bay. Familiarize yourself with their path and the components they touch. Now let's get down to diagnosis. Start with a visual inspection. Using your flashlight, examine the entire length of the belt. Look for obvious signs of wear: cracks along the ribs, frayed edges, or shiny glazed spots that indicate slippage. Check for any debris, small stones, leaves, or even bits of rubber that might be caught in the grooves. A belt in good condition should be free of damage and have a matte, slightly textured surface. Next, use your ears. With the engine off, spray a light mist of water onto the belt. Then, start the engine and listen. If the noise temporarily disappears, you're likely dealing with a slipping belt, often a sign of low tension or contamination. Always keep hands, tools, and clothing well clear of moving parts during this step. Pay attention to whether the noise changes as the engine warms up. Some belts quiet down after a few minutes, while others get worse. To distinguish belt noise from pulley or bearing issues, listen closely. Belt squeal tends to be high-pitched and changes with engine speed, while bearing noises are often lower and can sound like grinding or rumbling. For a quick tension check, with the engine off, press down on the longest span of the belt with your thumb. There should be a little give, about ½ an inch, but not so much that the belt feels floppy. If you spot glazing or minor contamination during your inspection, the first solution is a simple cleaning. With the engine off, use your rag and a mild cleaner. Never harsh chemicals or brake cleaner, as they can damage the rubber. Dampen the rag and carefully wipe both sides of the belt, manually rotating the engine to access the entire length. Pay special attention to the grooved side, where dirt and oil can hide. Never spray cleaner directly onto the belt, as overspray can affect nearby components. After cleaning, the belt should look refreshed, and you may notice an immediate reduction in noise the next time you start the engine. If cleaning doesn't solve the problem, tension could be the culprit. Belts that are too loose will slip and squeal, while belts that are too tight can wear out both themselves and the components they drive. To check tension, locate the belt tensioner. Most modern cars use an automatic spring-loaded tensioner, which maintains proper tension on its own. If yours is manual, You'll need a wrench or socket to adjust it. Loosen the mounting bolt slightly, then adjust the tensioning bolt until the belt feels firm but not overly tight. Be careful. Not all belts require the same tension, and over-tightening can cause premature failure. After adjustment, start the engine and listen. If the noise persists, or if the belt shows signs of cracking or excessive wear, replacement is often the better option. Sometimes, the problem isn't the belt itself, but the pulleys or the components they drive. Misaligned pulleys can cause the belt to squeak or chirp as it tries to track straight. Stand above the engine and look down the length of the belt. It should run smoothly in a straight line across all pulleys. If you notice one pulley sitting out of line, it may need adjustment or replacement. Accessories like the AC compressor, power steering pump, alternator, or the idler and tensioner pulleys can also develop worn bearings, which create noise and increase resistance. To test, spin each pulley by hand with the belt removed. They should turn freely and quietly without wobbling. If you find one that feels rough or loose, it's best to replace it as soon as possible. In an emergency, a misaligned or failing component might be temporarily realigned or lubricated, but this is only a short-term fix. If the noise is coming from a critical component, or if you're unsure, seek professional help to avoid further damage. Prevention is always better than cure. Make it a habit to inspect your belts every 3 months or at every oil change. Look for early signs of wear and address minor issues before they become major headaches. Keep the engine bay clean and free of oil leaks, as contamination is a leading cause of belt noise. Consider using products designed to extend belt life, such as conditioners specifically made for automotive belts. Replace belts proactively every 60,000 to 100,000 miles, or as recommended by your vehicle's manufacturer. If you notice sudden cracks, missing chunks, or persistent noise despite cleaning and adjustment, it's time for a new belt. To recap, most belt noise issues can be diagnosed and fixed in just a few minutes with simple tools and a careful approach. Start with a thorough visual and auditory inspection. Clean the belt if you find glazing or dirt. Adjust the tension if the belt feels loose, but be mindful not to over-tighten. Check pulleys and accessories for alignment and bearing issues, and don't hesitate to replace worn parts. If you hear grinding, see smoke, or notice the belt slipping off, these are signs of serious problems that require professional attention. By tackling belt noise yourself, you can restore peace and quiet to your daily drive and avoid costly trips to the mechanic. Most fixes result in immediate or next-day noise reduction, and with regular maintenance, you'll keep your belts in top condition for years to come. The cost savings are significant, with most shops charging over $100 for simple belt adjustments or cleaning. Your DIY skills can pay for themselves many times over. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to subscribe for more car maintenance advice. In upcoming guides, we'll cover topics like diagnosing alternator issues, replacing worn pulleys, and more. Keeping your car running smoothly doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. Sometimes, all it takes is 10 minutes and a little know-how. Thanks for tuning in to Car Hacks Express, and happy driving!